you can interact with us directly. That's what we're here and we're doing all about. And Christian Rayner is the one that's in the email asking for clarification about a chart, a graph that Mike has been talking about for. Mike, you've been talking about this chart for weeks now. Every time you do what's happening in the stock market with Mike Saul on Mondays, if you aren't watching it, I highly encourage everybody to watch that. He breaks down the markets flawlessly, in my opinion. But Mike, we got to talk about this chart. They need a little bit of clarification. So Josh, can you go ahead and throw up the chart that I'm talking about? There we are. All right, Mike, what are we looking at here?
So this is but just to be crystal clear, I did not draw this chart from hand or invented this. You can see the source below, Global Studies and Geography, Hofstra University. So what it is it's just a chart that shows kind of what the path that a stock or the markets overall take in a cycle. Let's call it a big picture cycle. Now you can apply this to individual stocks, but since we had such a big move in the market over the last few years, when I talk about it on Mondays, I apply it to the broad market, right? So what happens? So for a couple of years before the last pandemic hit us, right back in 2020, we were moving up, but it was a stealth move, right? A lot of people were calling it the most hated rally. Now they're calling, whatever. They've since changed that, but back then it was another most hated rally, right? So we started to move, then we started to take off, and everybody may not remember because all they remember is that big pump when the Fed, dropped the liquidity bomb on us, right? But we were moving up. And then all of a sudden, what happens? COVID, the unknown, boom, we get a sharp sell-off. Bear market, right? And I remember I was at another place. I was not at Seeking Alpha yet, but I will never forget. We had a big meeting and we're talking about how are we going to handle this bear market. And I said, whoa, cool your jets. Let's make sure it's a bear market first before we totally, turn things around here. Okay. And I was right. Granted, pat myself on the back. There you go. Right. I'm not always right. Right. So don't take it like I was right then and I'm right now. No. But I was like, take it easy. Take it easy. This is a big overreaction. And what happened was we got this part, which is the bear trap. I don't know if you could see my pointer here. So we sold off. The world was coming to an end, right? We were never going to travel again, nothing. And look, I am not diminishing COVID. I know a lot of people that got sick. I know a few people that died from it. Again, so I'm not minimizing what happened with COVID, but we're talking about the market here, right? Anyway, there was huge panic. There was a big thing. The world is coming to an end. The Fed came in with a liquidity bomb, and then all of a sudden, boom, we went off to the races. And by the way, just to be clear, guys, this was not drawn based on what just happened. Okay, this was drawn years ago. Why am I making that point? Is because this cycle tends to repeat itself over and over and over again. You could put this on a chart of Tesla if you wanted, or of Amazon, or of Apple.
Or Bitcoin. Right? Anyway, wait, Bitcoin. Don't forget Bitcoin.
Oh, sorry. Who could forget Bitcoin, right? Absolutely. Bitcoin and any of the other altcoins, right? It's a lot of this is similar. A lot of those are more compressed, of course, but Bitcoin is a beautiful example of this. So then what happened? Okay, the liquidity came in. Boom, here we go. We're off to the races. And what do I hear? I am hearing from people with 40 years of Wall Street experience. No, this is different. No, it's much different than what happened before, right? What are the four most dangerous words in investing? This time it's different. Notice I had to use my fingers to make sure. This time it's different. The most dangerous four words. Now, this is not the topic of today's webinar, but believe it or not, the person that said that, and I forgot who it was because I'm having I'm a little too excited. He said, but 20% of the time, it's not different, right? So just keep that in mind, regardless of that, okay? But new paradigm, no, things are different. People are going to pay $3,000, for a coat rack, which is what a Peloton bike is for most people, right? Or people are gonna want to call. They don't want to go to doctors' offices anymore. Oh no, we're gonna use this. And no offense to Zoom, because we're on it now. People are gonna want to use this. Yeah, no, don't worry. I know Microsoft has a gazillion dollars, and so does Google, and they could come in and disrupt Zoom without even blinking. But no, don't worry. Zoom has a moat because people like to say, let's get on a Zoom meeting. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not a new paradigm. It's the same thing. What happened on the first dip? Denial. Don't worry. Just another spot to buy. Just another spot to buy. Then what happens? We go down. We come up. Here we go. We're returning to normal. And then boom, we push down, which is right around where we are now. I think right now we are in the bull trap / fear phase of this cycle, right? We were a lot of people were thinking we were returned to normal just a couple of weeks ago. They got way out ahead of themselves because they're looking for any excuse. Oh, here's a bounce. Let's get on board. And I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I don't want to be Mr. Bear. Oh, you're so negative. It's not the point, right? There's plenty of opportunities here in the market. So I'm not saying, you know what? We're going to go lower. Let's all move into a cave and we'll see in a couple of years. No, absolutely not. There's still plenty of opportunities out there. But right now, we are in my opinion, the bull trap fear area. Now, does that mean we have to go next to capitulation? No, that is the beauty of this. Even though this looks like, okay, this is a permanent illustration, it doesn't mean it absolutely has to work this way. Maybe we're just in a bull trap phase here. I don't know where we are, but it feels to me, and I would love your comments on this too, Austin, because this is the first time I'm on with you. I think we're in the bull trap I think we were in the bull trap until yesterday's inflation number, and now I think we're creeping back into the fear mode.
Catch all episodes of Stock Market Live on Seeking Alpha and join the conversation live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern.